Hello guys, welcome back to another FIFA 21 video. Today I'm going to show you one of the most underrated, under the radar formations in FIFA 21. It is the 4-1-3-2 formation, as you can see on the screen. It's quite a defensive formation, but there's not that many defensive formations in the game really. There's a lot of attacking ones, 4-2-2-2, 4-3-1, 4-3-2-1. There's tons of attacking formations. There's not many really useful defensive formations just to hold on to a lead at the end of the game. And this is one of the best ones in the game, if not the best. Just to hold on to that lead to get into the game, so you're still in the game and you can get that win if you winning by a goal or two by the end of the game. So I'm going to get straight into the custom tactics here, but before I start, I just want to say if you're not already subscribed, please help me out by subscribing. It means so much. It really helps me out and it really helps the channel grow. So for the custom tactics for this formation, I recommend using balanced or drop back as the defensive style. Now I know a lot of people don't like using drop back at all. I would only recommend you using drop back if you're watching this, if you're sort of a lower division player. Where drop back is much more useful to hold on to a lead. When you get high divisions, people can often play around drop back anyway, so I'd recommend to go with balanced. Constant pressure, press after possession loss, and pressure on heavy touch are all a little bit too attacking. So balanced or drop back, depending on your play style or how good you are at the game, it's better to play defensively. Width I'll bring to 4 to make it a little bit narrower. Depth I'll play sort of 3 to 5. I wouldn't go 6. 5 is actually still quite high up. If you don't want to drop back too much, and you still want to be in the game a little bit, so you maybe have a chance of scoring, I recommend sort of 4 as an average. So you wouldn't really use this formation much for your balanced formation to start the game with. It's quite good for chemistry, but apart from that, you'd only use it for defensively, which is sort of what I'm going to base the tactics around. For the offensive style, I recommend using possession. Now, possession isn't very good either. If you don't want to use possession, go with balance. But long ball is just way too attacking, and fast build-ups once again too attacking. And if you can be open on the counter-attack, which happens if you lose the ball on long ball, on fast build-up, sorry, so you can see it says there, possession of the ball, you can find yourself open to a counter-attack at the end. If you are open to a counter-attack, then you're pretty much screwed for using a defensive formation. So I'd recommend to use the possession just to keep hold of the ball, so they're not going to score, they're not on the ball, they're not going to score if they're not on the ball. So I recommend possession or balanced. I personally prefer possession, it's much easier to keep the ball. The width I would also drop down to 4 to keep it a little bit narrower. As you can see, the left mid and right mid are actually almost wider than the fullbacks. To make it a little bit narrower can be a bit easier sometimes. Players in the box drop down to 4. If you have more players in the box, you're more likely to be open for the counter-attack when they win the ball back. And then corners, I would just bring down to 1 and 1 on free kicks, just so you've got your players back. They're not going to suddenly run back when you take a corner and score really quickly. Players in box, you could even drop that down right down to 2 or 3 if you make it ultra defensive. The same with the width. Now for the player instructions, both your strikers, I recommend you have them on stay central, so stay on the centre of the pitch. Obviously, even though it is an ultra defensive or defensive formation, you still don't want to be completely dropped back. Which can be sometimes a bit hard to even score a goal. If maybe they scored quickly and you need to score a goal back, you don't have time to switch formation, last kick of the game sort of area, you still want them to be sort of staying central. I recommend to use getting behind as well. This is so if you desperately have to score a goal, say that the formation didn't work very well, you have a couple of minutes to score a goal, no time to switch formation, you can still get a goal in. Now for the defensive support, you could either use stay forward, so your players are up there, so if you desperately need to score like earlier, they're always going to be up there and you can score quite quickly. Or you can use come back on defence to make it even more defensive. If you're using it slightly defensive, I recommend just to use basic defensive support. I wouldn't use stay forward, it's a bit too far up. I recommend basic defensive support for normal. If you want to make it ultra defensive, use come back on defence, but only if you want to make it ultra defensive. Otherwise, use basic or even stay forward if you need to score a goal. Now for your central midfielder, there's no cam on this formation, but there is a central midfielder. I recommend now this is where you start to drop back more of your players. So I recommend using drop between defenders to make it ultra defensive. Because you have 2 midfielders, they can actually both be put to drop between defenders. Now what this means is they're sort of dropping between the centre back position. So technically you're like playing 6 at the back, which I know is a lot of defenders at the back. If your centre mid and CDM are both dropping into centre back, but it really will help you not to concede. If you want to make it slightly defensive, just to hold up a goal or two maybe, but it's not that big of a deal, just use. I recommend using stay back while attacking or just balanced attack on the centre mid, and then for your CDM just use cut passing lane to cover centre and stay back while attacking. Whether you're making it ultra defensive or defensive, still use cut passing lanes and cover centre, and then either use stay back while attacking or drop between defenders for its ultra defensive or more defensive. Now for your centre backs, obviously these completely default. For your goalkeeper, use compass crosses and sweeper keeper, so he's going to try and get the ball a bit more, win the ball a bit easier, and you're going to be back on the ball. For your fullbacks, I recommend using overlap, but then also use stay back while attacking. That's very important, obviously, the defensive formation. So staying back, making it more defensive. For your left mid and right mid, these are slightly deeper than wingers. I recommend using come back on defence just to try and help out the fullbacks. Unless you feel like you need to score, you might be in an opportunity where you need to score a goal, then just use basic defensive support. So if you want to make it more ultra defensive though, use come back on defense and then pretty much just leave the rest completely default. I wouldn't change anything else there. That is all I would use. If you want to make them a little bit more attacking, you could use getting behind just if you need to score a goal. If they score quickly, but other than that, I would pretty much just put them come back on defense or if you're wider players, and that is pretty much it. So pretty much everyone should be sort of defensively orientated, apart from your strikers if you don't want them like that. Otherwise, you could just put completely everyone to come back on defense, so it's really, really ultra defensive. Same with the tactics, you make it really ultra defensive. Use drop back, minimum width, minimum depth, so you literally can't concede. That's pretty much it for these 4-1-3-2 custom tactics. Anyway, that's going to be it. One of the best ultra defensive formations in the game. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like these, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.